In this video, Kevin O'Leary drops a bomb, and I invite you to stick around to the end if you want to hear my thoughts.
O'Leary Ventures Chair and Mr. Wonderful, Kevin O'Leary. Kevin, we love having you on. It's good to see you. So what do you make of all this? We got Senate Finance Chair Mike 𝗙𝗂𝗏 warning that there are likely 2 no votes against it. Senator Rand Paul and Ron Johnson over spending. Just one more defection there could derail it. What do you think is going to happen?
Well, Ron Johnson put out a graph a couple of days ago, a chart, very simple chart, simply says, look, even during Trump's first term, deficits were under $1 trillion. Then we have this pandemic, and every administration and every budget post the pandemic have been $2 trillion plus deficits. Why? That's just a simple question. Why? And I think he's getting a little traction with that. That's what got Elon fired off. He looked at that chart, too, and said, wait a second, why do we have to spend $2 trillion more than we need to? So what Johnson wants to do is split the bill in half, get the tax cuts in on time by July 4 that are required to keep small business and large business humming, keep the economy going, which is doing quite well, and then work on this deficit reduction thing separately.
We understand exactly what you're saying, Kevin, about getting the tax cuts done, because Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent warns everyone, all income classes, face a massive tax hike if it doesn't get done. Now, Kevin, the thing is, the coverage of this has been way off. The bill stops a massive tax increase. It's not about the tax cuts it's already about letting the tax cut last and not expire. The CBO wrongly assumed nothing's going to happen if the tax cuts expire. The economy will be okay, no jobs lost. We're seeing analysis that could cause a recession, throw people out of work if the tax cuts expire. What do you think?
The big issue with the CBOE is what growth rate you assume for the next 10 years in scoring this budget. And so they have a 1.8% growth rate on the economy. For 20 years, we've had at least 2%. But some senators, and I am in their camp, say, look, the American economy, if set up right with the right tax structure, can be very competitive and maybe move to 2.5% to 3%. Now, those are huge differences in assumptions. And so if you say 1.8%, and that's all the economy is going to do for the next decade, sure, you're going to score it in a very conservative light. And I take issue with that. I mean, that is not what you would do in business. That's not what a corporation does. They don't assume no growth or benign growth. 1.8% is really, really weak.
The CBO was way off on Obamacare. It said Obamacare would increase the number of people on Medicaid by 16 million. Kevin, the number is more than twice that. 34 million went on that. The CBO also predicted 24 million would get insurance through the Obamacare exchange, which just 14 million did. So more people went on Medicaid. The CBO's been really way off on that.
Yeah, listen, they've had a lot of variance, no question about it. The bill also has some tweaking that's going on right now, probably a lot of it done by next Friday.
So, hey, listen, I don't know much or if anything about politics, but I'm willing to step back, see what happens, and let them do what they're supposed to do. I'm not going to jump to any conclusions. I don't want to pay more money, right, at all. And I know you don't want to pay more money either, but I'm going to give Trump and his team the benefit of the doubt. And as far as Elon Musk and Trump going at it, I would not be surprised if this was a hoax. If they were doing this on purpose, I mean, they're probably not, but it wouldn't put it past me. If they got together behind the scenes and said, hey, we're going to do this, we're going to stage this fight for couple reasons. One, the fake news media. Oh my God, they'll be all over. Just not too long ago, they were burning Teslas, threatening his life, all that crazy stuff that we saw. And now, right, they love him. So I wouldn't be surprised if they were doing it on purpose. But second of all, so certain cuts in this bill happen. They're making a big deal out of certain things like the electric mandate and other priorities. And maybe this is a ploy to where Congress is like, oh my God, some of those Republicans that are on the fence are like, oh my God, maybe we need to pass this, or maybe we need to put this in. It wouldn't surprise me. I don't know. You got 2 powerful people. We'll have to wait and see.